Hey, everybody. I'm Robin Howaller, or Mr. Robin to you. And as always, I'm here with my fabulous glow-in-the-dark co-host,
I'm glow in the dark.
collaborative partner, and all-around best pal, Mikkel Murray Robinson, a.k.a. Mikey on the mic. You know, folks, in the wild world of Northwest Oklahoma's barbecue
What?
scene,
Is this you? Are you in the... Am I a barbecuist now? Or were they... Is that right?
hang on.
Is that what you call people?
I don't know.
A
Mikey
barbecuist?
is better known as Backyard Mikey,
What?
a legendary figure who turns every
shit.
cookout into an epic saga of grilled meat, partially burned hydrocarbons.
Okay, now it's grilled meat. Before it was mini meats.
Yeah,
It was Vienna sausages. Now it's grilled meats.
yep.
I'm grilling the meats.
And questionable dance moves.
Oh my gosh. No, my dance moves are not questionable. They're great.
This barbecue virtuoso is infamous for crashing parties with a cooler in tow, claiming it's for balance, and muttering something about computer curtains, though no one's quite sure what any of that means. Perhaps it's metaphysical.
It is.
Mikey's antics are the stuff of folklore. Her skill at out-dancing, out-drinking, and out-hot-dogging everyone is unmatched. I once saw her do the worm across a cornhole.
I can't do that.
Well,
what?
You want me to repeat that? I once saw her do the worm across a cornhole board while clutching a natty light in her teeth, said an awestruck neighbor who wished to remain anonymous, probably fearing Mikey's rightful claim to the cornhole throne.
It would be more like a bush light. Just saying.
It was the coolest thing I've ever witnessed. And I've seen a squirrel water ski. With an insistence that she's merely bringing the energy these briskets crave, Mikey has become a divisive figure. Some hosts have tried to curb her random appearances, but many...
Yeah, nobody wants her to come over anymore. They're like, how are we going to get her not to show up?
But many argue that a barbecue isn't truly a blaze without her lawn chair karaoke or her interpretive fire pit dance, which is less interpretive.
That's just me standing in the middle of it.
Which is less
about fire
and more interpretation. I put a word in there I can't read.
Yes, that's right.
And more interpretationally questionable.
Do people know what that means?
I don't know.
When you put it, you're all scratching your heads over that one.
I was on a roll. Her unsolicited rendition of Pink Pony Club is renowned.
It's good.
Often
it really is.
Leaving guests both confused and captivated.
Yes. That's actually a true statement. That's the only one today.
I may not have an invite, Mikey declares with the confidence of a grill master answering the siren call of sizzling steaks. But those grills and smokers are practically screaming my name. Over to you, Mikey.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. All I have is a lot of nothing to say to that, except like I've given you the hey, good job on one thing being actually right in that whole deal. Although I feel like I could grill some shit.
Yeah. I'm sure.
But I don't.
Why don't you say hello to our audience?
I don't do
smoking fiends, Mikey.
Hello, audience of meat smoking fiends.
This is
episode 63.
An in-between episode of Mr. Robin's Hood podcast that we're calling Radium Girls. We're coming to you digitally from our scenic secret location, somewhere within throwing distance of a Weber kettle grill of the number 2 hole of the Woodward Municipal Golf Course in Woodward, Oklahoma. So, hard hats on and let's roll.
Let's just say it is whoever's out there right now on that golf course is dedicated because it is hot and miserable. And
It is 101 degrees.
why would you golf in this? And people are doing it.
Yeah.
I do not like golf. So therefore, this seems really ridiculous to golf in 100-degree weather. But anyway.
Then why are you always trying to get me to buy a golf?
Because I want to go out there and drive around and be a hoodlum. I don't want to actually play the game. It's not fun.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
see?
I'm down.
We just need a cart. We don't need the, everything else.
Yeah, we don't need no stinking clubs.
Yeah.
We'll just, we could roll along and scoop up people's balls and drive off with them.
We could. Until they run us off of there. But like, it's okay. I live across from hole 2. It's okay.
Today's podcast is a tragic tale of corporate greed, disregard for employees, and short-sighted vision of the U.S. government. We're going to be talking today about Radium Girls. Our sources for this podcast will be Britannica.com, NPR.com, which may not be around much longer, and of course...
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, the government's clawing back all of its funding.
That's right.
And of course, our personal favorite, the dailymail.com. So with the start of World War I, several factories across the United States, at the behest of the government, produced watches and military dials painted with a material containing radium, which is a radioactive element that glows in the dark. Hundreds of young women were hired for the well-paying painting jobs because their small hands were well suited for the exacting and detailed work. Radium had been discovered just 20 years earlier by French physicist Marie Curie and her husband Pierre Curie, and its properties were not entirely known.
She ended up, dying because of her exposure to radium as well. She was something, that Marie.
Because it had been used to successfully treat cancer, many considered radium a miracle element, and a variety of commercial products.
Until years later, when you all started dropping like flies.
Or your jaw started falling off.
Yeah.
Were manufactured in which radium was an ingredient, including, this kills me, toothpaste.
And cosmetics. Yikes. It's a good thing I don't, put a lot of cosmetics on my face, although I do use the toothpaste. Yeah, I can't really get away from that.
Thank heavens for that.
Yeah, you'd be over there smelling my breath like, oh my gosh.
So the young women hired to paint these dials came to be known as ghost girls because a lot of them because of the radium dust to which they were exposed constantly, made their clothes, hair, and skin literally glow. In fact, many of the women wore their best dresses on the job so the fabric would shine brilliantly if they went out dancing after dark. Some even applied it to their teeth to give them radiant smiles.
Wow.
What's more, the painters ingested the radioactive substances as part of their job. Some of the dials on which they worked were extremely small, and they were instructed to use their lips to bring their paintbrushes to a fine point. When they asked about radium safety, they were assured by their managers that they had nothing to fear. Of course, that wasn't true. Radium can be extremely dangerous, especially with repeated exposure. Marie Curie suffered radiation burns while handling it and eventually died from radiation exposure. It wasn't long before the Radium Girls began to experience the physical ravages of their exposure. Among the first was Amelia Maggia, who painted watches for Radium Luminous Materials Corporation in Orange, New Jersey. Maggia's first symptom was a toothache, which required the removal of the tooth, but soon the tooth next to it had to be extracted also. Painful ulcers, bleeding, and full of pus developed where the teeth had been. Magia died in September 1922 of a massive hemorrhage. Initially, doctors who were puzzled as to the cause of her condition declared that she had died of syphilis. You aren't going to make a joke about the clapboard? Okay.
Oh, about the clapboard? I'm just like blown away by what you just read. For sure. Yeah. Oh, syphilis. I watched a Law and Order that some guy went crazy because he was infected with syphilis and didn't know it.
Wow. Well, they say Idi Amin Dada probably was the same. You have no idea who I'm talking about.
No. Phew. Right over my head.
Okay. Soon, growing numbers of other Radium Girls became deathly ill, experiencing many of the same agonizing symptoms as Magia. For 2 years, their employer precipitously denied any connection between the girls' death
For 2 years?
and their work. Yeah.
Goodness.
Facing a downturn in business because of the growing controversy, the company finally commissioned an independent study of the matter, which concluded that the painters had died from the effects of radium exposure.
Damn.
Refusing to accept the report's findings, the company commissioned additional studies that came to the opposite conclusion.
Well, wouldn't you know? They were even doing that back then.
The public, in the meantime, continued to assume that radium was safe.
Wow.
In 1925, a pathologist named Harrison Martland developed a test that proved conclusively that radium had poisoned the watch painters by destroying their bodies from the inside.
Oh, my.
The radium industry tried to discredit Martland's findings, but the Radium Girls themselves fought back.
Yeah.
Many knew that their days were numbered, but they wanted to do something to help their colleagues still working with the deadly substance. It wasn't until 1938 when a dying radium worker named Catherine Donahue successfully sued the Radium Dial Company over her illness that the issue was finally settled. The legacy of the Radium Girls can't be understated, as their case was among the first in which a company was held responsible for the health and safety of its employees and led to a variety of reforms, as well as the creation of OSHA.
Interesting.
So that research led me to find another article that was published by NPR in 2014 about one of the last Radium Girls.
What? This lady lived through that?
Died at age
So she didn't get exposed too much? I don't understand. Okay.
Her name was May Keene, and she was hired in 1924 at a factory in Waterbury, Connecticut. On her first day, she recalled that she didn't like the taste of radium, which she described as being gritty. Fortunately for Ms. Keene, her exposure was minimal. She quit her job after a few days because she was unhappy with the conditions. I should note there is a movie about the Radium Girls. It was made in 2018. Its nationwide release was stymied by the COVID pandemic, and I'm not entirely certain, but I think you can find it on Netflix and probably Amazon Prime.
Well, I'd heard about the Radium Girls and I knew a little bit about it, but you dove into this and it made it more real, and dang.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, it was just the utter disregard.
Well, for 2 years, they were just like, they're fine. No, they're not fine. What?
And at this point, I'm going to tag up another story that came along shortly after I'd read through the previous. It seems that our government, during the course of World War II, was producing 1 ton of uranium every day as part of the top-secret Manhattan Project. While much of it was shipped across the country to make the first atomic bombs, anything left over was dumped in 82 locations across St. Louis, Missouri. From there, it spilled into a stream called Coldwater Creek, a 19-mile stretch broken off from the Missouri River, surrounding school baseball fields and cemeteries. 8 decades later, generations of families in the St. Louis area have been struck by cancer and autoimmune disorders attributed to the nuclear waste leaching into the water and soil. Doctors in the area warn they are seeing younger and younger patients being diagnosed with significant cancers. Though the government has offered payments and launched cleanups, doctors and patients have urged federal lawmakers and health authorities to investigate the disease cluster more closely. The latest data shows the rate in St. Louis County is beginning to decrease. But, that could be because people are moving out and doing that, whatever. But it's unclear how much of the Coldwater Creek area is represented in those figures.
My goodness.
The entire 40 tons of uranium oxide that was used to make the atomic bombs was manufactured at an industrial site in downtown St. Louis, which produced 200 million pounds of this stuff for the Manhattan Project. The state launched a cleanup effort last year after an EPA investigation found the toxins contaminated nearby groundwater just to the northwest of St. Louis's Lambert International Airport. EPA also found excess limits in the drinking water and said it would investigate whether chemicals leaked into nearby wells or if they could reach the Missouri River. So there you have a larger population being exposed to these substances, mostly because nobody knew exactly what they were dealing with at the time, and urban development has spread out into areas that were probably deemed fairly safe because they were mostly unpopulated at the time.
That's wild.
Yeah, it really is. And it kind of makes me a little nervous at times. With I saw a map once, I recall, that when they were testing those atomic weapons out west, they were showing the clouds of radioactive material were probably coming right over this area. So it'd be kind of, it's a little scary.
Yes. It's like, reminds me of Pitcher, Oklahoma. The coal mines.
Oh.
Huh? Oh, lead.
Oh, lead mines.
That's right, lead mines.
I didn't realize they had those.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Pitcher.
Oh,
learned about it in college. That's crazy. So that's what this kind of reminds me of. Or Chernobyl, that too. It kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah. I was living in London when that happened, and everybody was freaked out.
Yeah, I bet.
The government was destroying milk. There were a lot of other precautions you had to take at the time. Okay, so that's that.
That's that and a bag of chips.
We hope you folks conveniently listen at home or in your car. Hopefully you're not watching this in the car.
Yeah, don't watch it in the car. Don't watch and drive.
If you have any questions for either Mikey or myself about today's episode or any other darn thing, you can email us at mr.robin@mrrobinshood.com or Mikey@mrrobinshood.com. Also, you can find us on Facebook at Mr. Robin's Hood Podcast. As always, you can reach out. And by the way, we've been picking up followers on our Facebook page. Yeah. As always, you can also reach out to Mikey or me via Podophone at 580-827-0472 Podophone.
That was an infomercial at its finest.
Maybe you just want to get something off your chest, or you're feeling some butt pain because of something we said during the podcast.
Or maybe you have a relative that was a Radium Girl.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
We'd really want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Give us a call, unless, of course, you're a deranged barbecue fiend pissed off that Mikey crashed your cookout last weekend.
Well, I'm pissed off, too. So come at me, bro.
You can leave a voicemail. Text us if you have a question, concern, complaint, compliment, suggestion, whatever. Just don't be a dick about it. In the meantime, tell all your friends to listen to this podcast as though their lives depend upon it. As always, you can stream or download episodes of Mr. Robin's Hood podcast wherever you usually find that sort of nonsense. We're on Spotify, iHeart Radio, Amazon Music, the Podbean app, Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Listen Notes, and Podchaser. You can also stream them directly from our Podbean website at Mr. Robin's Hood podcast.podbean.com.
And it's free. It's all free. Free admission.
So we'll close now by reminding everyone, as we always do,
to stay hungry, stay foolish, and most importantly, stay weird.
You smoked rib licking freak.
Bye.